Hello guys and welcome back to Tower of Blue, my One Chunk Iron Man account that began its journey here at the Tower of Life. To add a bit of a twist to the series, we do have a blocking system. Now, ironically, the blocking system has never been used. There's an entire 8 episodes up to this point where the blocking system has never come into effect. Now that is both a blessing and a curse, I suppose. The blessing is that we've never come up against a grind so deadly that it's had to be used, but it's also a curse because it was supposed to add an interesting twist to the series, and 8 episodes without using it? I mean, that's not an interesting twist. That changes today though. Boy, is this a meaty episode. We have chunk rolls, we have highs and lows, and we have an entire rework of everything that you know about Tower of Blue so far. The chunk rules have changed, the blocking system has changed, and it's all integral information for the series going forward, so buckle up, this is gonna be a wild one. Now, if you watched the last episode, you will know that we were able to lure an Ardy Knight into our chunk. This made what was quite an awful thieving grind a lot more manageable, and it had a lot of benefits to it as well. So let's jump in to the live video and see how that's going. I've been doing this for quite a while now, with some difficulties. It hasn't been plain sailing the entire time, but there is level 70 thieving. Now, the goal is 75, not level 70, but 70 just feels so good. We can now thieve from paladins, which has the potential to be useful later on, perhaps. I'm not even sure what's on their drop table, honestly. But there's something psychological in my brain about seeing a level 70 stat. I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks like this, but when I see a stat that's in the level 60s, the level 50s, whatever it is, it feels like it's not very high of a level, but the second I see that 7 in front of the skill, man, it just feels like it's a good level. I'm happy with it, man. I'm happy, but we have progress to make, so let's continue. Decided to flip back over to woodcutting for a little bit. I did lose the Ardy Knight, so instead of trying to re-lure it, I thought I would do some woodcutting, and we got a maze random. A lot of people have been telling me to do the chest method. Essentially, there are these chests in the maze, you may be aware. They give you some pretty basic loot, but essentially, if you just leave this interface open and wait 60 seconds, you can re-loot the chest without the time going down, or at least it goes down very slowly. So I'm gonna give this a try and see what it looks like. Okay, so an hour later, the chest is now empty. We are done. I believe you just get teleported straight out because the timer has expired. I don't know if I'm gonna do this every time, to be fair. I mean, the loot was decent, but maybe if I have the time and I feel like it, I'll do it now and again. But I think for the most part, I'm gonna do mazes normally. Oh, a book of knowledge, things you love to see. That goes straight into Hunter. That is what we've been lamping. We're getting 210 XP per book of knowledge now, which is super nice. Gets us to level 15. I'm going to stop at level 16, just so you know. I don't want to accidentally unlock Puro for myself, so we are going to stop at level 16. Just got a clue nest. It's a medium clue. Let's see what we got. Oh, it's actually one we can do. In fact, it's literally within the shot right now. That's actually kind of awesome. I mean, it's not that useful right now because I think you need minimum 3 completable steps to be able to do a clue. And I'm not going to get 3 completable steps from cutting logs, but there is potential for us to get more medium clues in the future. So I'm going to put this in the bank, and maybe Tower of Blue can be wearing some ranger boots in future. That would be something. All right, if my maths isn't mistaken, which it probably is, this is the last log that I need. So all of the wood cutting is now done. It was honestly quite a pleasant grind, just super AFK. It's been so long since I've just chilled and cut logs. I love it, man. This is great. And indeed, that was all of the oak logs. So that's all done. We can now just start fletching. It shouldn't take too long in theory. Even if it does, though, again, super AFK. You click a couple times, you let it go through the inventory. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Actually, before I go full commit on the longbows, is that even the best thing to make? I mean, I can test it. It's probably worth testing. Initially, I thought longbows, mainly because if we roll into Seer's Village, that will open up the opportunity for us to get bowstrings, and then that's like banked fletching XP down the line, which sounds really good, but if one of the other things, the stock and the shield, if they sell for like a significant amount, then maybe it's just worth doing those. Let's get a price check on all of those. The longbow's 32 coins. Stock is 10, so that's useless. And the shield is 32 as well, but the shield requires 2 logs. So the longbows actually sell for the most as well, and we get that bank fletching XP. And time isn't a factor. It doesn't work like smithing, where plate bodies is faster than daggers because you're doing like 5 bars at a time. The shield actually takes twice as long as a longbow, so it's exactly the same time. Longbows is just the way to go, it looks like. All right, I was more or less all done with the fletching, so I'm going to head back over to thieving. I have a few days before the chunk rolling stream, so I really want to get that 75 thieving wrapped up so that we can maybe try and get more medium clues. You can see here I'm using in the background is my main account, and in the foreground is AI Cape. Coming in clutch, helping us out to lure the RD Knight. Don't worry, I asked ChatGPT. ChatGPT said it was fine. It's fine, don't worry, don't worry. There is level 74, though. One more level to go. Shouldn't take too long. Let's get it done, man. I mean, listen, if we're gonna hit level 75, there's only one place to do it, man. There's only one place to do it. Our boy Gummy, he's come in clutch so many times for us, and he deserves it, man. Even though, to be honest, he probably doesn't care. There it is, man. 75 thieving. Boy, does it feel good. Honestly, I can't explain the satisfaction of rolling a new chunk, being presented with tasks that look dangerous at first, and then you put your brain to work and see what you can come up with. How can you make it easier? How can you get through it? Do the calculations, and man, when it's done, it's like, oh, the endorphins, the dopamine. I love it, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving life right now. Huge amount of GP from all of that. Seriously, luring the RD Knight, I know I said it in the last episode, not only did it just speed up the grind, but man, the GP. Let's have a quick look at the bank, actually. I don't think I've ever really gone through this with you. So we have our sort of basic runes at the top. We have our GP. We have some potions that we got from the maze, a couple of clue scrolls, a little bit of food. But this is the main tab. This is what I'm sort of calling the museum tab for now. Essentially, every item in here, in order, will kind of be a placeholder to remind us of the chunks that we've been through. So we got the blue wizard hat at first. That was chunk 1. Blue wizard hat, of course. It's iconic for like every chunk account ever. Chunk 2, I mean, what else could I put in here than the curved bone? What a grind that was. And man, it was, honestly, it was fun. Chunk 3, the willow shield. That's kind of all we had to make from Port Khazard, so that was fine. Chunk 4 was the fight arena, so we got the Khazard helm. Chunk 5, all we had to do was make a spider on a shaft at Hazelmere's chunk. And chunk 6, the one we're working on right now, I had to put a triangle sandwich in there, man. The thieving grind gummy, it's iconic. We'll be adding to that over time, of course. I'm curious to see how it looks in the future. Now, let's have a look. I was talking about clue scrolls and medium clue scrolls. We did pick up a clue step that we can do in our chunk. I actually have 2 medium clue steps that can be completed in this chunk. It's not a lot, but we can pickpocket gnomes. Now, bit of a fact that I guess a lot of people might just not know is that gnomes actually have a chance to give you medium clues. This is now a repeatable way to get medium clue scrolls, and by brute forcing it enough, we could complete one. All right, where is he? The gnome. We need to pickpocket one anyway. That is the chunk task. There he is. I think it's just the one that you can pickpocket, actually. The rest of them are useless to me. All right, let's do it. Let's clear out a little space there. I did bring a bunch of sandwiches because I'm sure I'm going to get hit many times, but there it is. Success on the first one. That's actually a good amount of XP from pickpocketing a gnome. God damn, maybe we train here in the future if we need to. But that is the hard task complete. That was the task. Task completed. Very, very nice. But I'm going to try pickpocketing a few of these and just see how it goes. All right, I've tagged the gnome, and that has definitely made my life easier. The annoying thing is he moves around so much, and the fail rate is so high, I'm constantly getting stunned. But hey, there's a clue scroll. Reasonable GP from these guys, and they drop a lot of gold ore, which could be useful. But let's have a look. Can we complete this step? That would be something, eh? Where is it? Oh, it's in Ardy. It's in East Ardy. It's literally like so close to us. Look at that. Oh man. Okay, it's not in the chunk just north, but oh, it's so close to us. That's a shame. We're gonna have to go and drop that. All right, the gnomes weren't behaving, and time is short, to be honest. The chunk rolling stream, as you're watching this, the chunk rolling stream has already happened, so don't worry about it. But I don't have time to be pickpocketing gnomes, but we will revisit that in the future, for sure. I would love to do a clue scroll on this account. Level 60 fletching, absolutely beautiful. One more level to go, and we can fletch the mahogany stock, which is the reason we're here, the reason we're doing this. We can now make adamantite arrows and hunter spears, both of which are likely to be quite useless for us. But one more level to go and we can make the mahogany stock, which is the whole reason we're here. So let's get it done. And it is more or less done. I'm very, very close. I'm going to finish it off at the start of the chunk rolling stream, which you are about to see. The next few clips and the next little while of this video is going to be footage from that chunk rolling stream. Now, if you remember, I said this in the last episode. What you're about to see for the next little while of this video is actually stream footage. That won't be a thing in future episodes. It was just the fact that I didn't record a lot of this footage. Well, Blue is here to tell you that he's a dumbass and forgot to record as he was doing the chunk rolling stream, and therefore the only footage of the chunk rolling stream I have is the VOD footage. So I hope you enjoy nonetheless. All right, 4, 3, 2, 1. How does he do it? How does he do it? Can this oak log just cut? There's people here that want to see a roll, you know? All right, let's do this again officially. Hooray! 61 fletching. Anyway, let's finish this thing. Did I even select what I wanted to make with that? It just did it. Well, there it is. Chunk task done. Look at all you guys showing up. You're all absolute mad lads. All right. Chunk roll. That's why we're here, right? We can mark off 61 fletching. Guys, I promise, I'm not doing this on purpose. I actually promise. Where's the Iron Med Helm, guys? Where is it? It's an item spawn. All I have to do is pick it up. I'm so sorry. Aha! Iron Med Helm. Oh my god, I got it before someone trolled me. No, you guys wouldn't do that. All right, we're officially done with the chunk. Okay, this time, for real. No milk. But we do need to discuss just a little bit as to what the rollable chunks are and what the reasons are and everything else. So I'll go very quickly. West Arty, absolutely free. Obviously, if I roll this immediately, I can't access it. It doesn't really matter. The only reason it's rollable is because of this little 20 tile area, so irrelevant. Tree Gnome Village, if I do the possible tasks, you'll see it's fairly simple. Obtain an iron axe and a giant key. It could probably do that in like an hour. If we're being real, maybe approximately an hour. Yanil, it looks scary because it's a city and what, is it a city? I guess it's a city. All you have to do is visit the hunter shop. So that is a free chunk. We got Brimhaven here, which has essentially nothing. All you have to do is collect seaweed. But the two actual scary ones, East Arty is one that we don't want to roll right now. If we roll this right now, that's kind of it. Essentially, this chunk has a furnace, and that immediately unlocks for me a very long smithing grind and a very long crafting grind, just because of that furnace. Everything else in here is kind of chill. This chunk, if you're in the Discord, you'll have seen my theory crafting on this. I, for the longest time, have been looking at this construction cave and thought, well, it won't be a task because I have no way of entering my player-owned house. I can buy a player-owned house, and that's what I need to do, but I won't be able to access a player-owned house, and therefore 99 construction won't be a task. However, I was mistaken because of the fishing trawler. You can get construction XP at the fishing trawler, even without 15 fishing. Killer. Absolute death. It's about 4,500 hours with good efficiency. What do I want? Well, Urania Altar. I forgot to go over it. Is 6 bad? Good question. I forgot to go over that one. No, 6 is very good. This is the one I want the most. It has the Zami Warriors or whatever they're called, which means I can get a rune scimitar and they drop a bowstring so I can get an actual ranged weapon. So this is what we want. As a wild card option, I really want Brimhaven and I want the agility arena, dude. I want 99 agility. I preach about my love for agility. I always preach about my love for agility, and to be wearing an agility cape on the back of Tower of Blue. What else? What can we talk about? Bailey, he's doing pretty well. He's just hanging out right now. All right, let's roll. 3, 2, 1. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Urania Alta, please. Please. Oh my god, guys. The wild card. Stream ends when Tower of Blue gets 99 agility. It's a reality. It's possible. Well, let's go and explore. Let's go and head over there, right? Right. Charter, please. I would love to. We're going to Brimhaven. We're adventuring. Tower of Blue is on a new continent. Is it a continent? I don't know. I'm calling it a continent. We've been welcomed by the red carpet of the yellow carpet. I guess we can call it the yellow carpet. All right, we have to collect seaweed. I don't even know how you do that or where the seaweed is, but man, we're in a new land. Unfamiliar territory. I kind of like that it's like a whole new ecosystem as well. It like doesn't look like anywhere that we've been before. It really feels like I'm adventuring right now. Who sells it to me? Buy seaweed from the charter, drop the same one 5 times to pick it up. Really? What a bizarre method. Buy 5. Oh, I guess I could have just bought 1. Whatever, we have 5. We have 5. So if I just drop this and then pick it back up, is that gonna count? Hooray! Listen, I said I just wanted to roll at least twice today. That was what I wanted to achieve, and we have achieved it. I believe. I believe. I believe. I believe. I believe. Oh, let's go! Dude. Okay. My luck has to end at some point, no? 1 rune crafting. Craft runes at the Urania altar. How? And why? And where? Pure essence from a Zamorak crafter at a 1 in 70 rate. Interesting. I was unaware of such a thing. Very cool. The Iron Kite Shield is gotten from Hill Giants. No problem. The Rune Scimitar is gotten from the Zamorak Warriors at a 1 in 50. That's actually not bad. I thought it would be worse than that. Obtain a short bow, which I have to fletch myself, and I think it'll tell me here. It does. I can get a bowstring at a 1 in 25 from the Zamorak Ranger. So write this down. We need to kill Zamorak Rangers, Zamorak Warriors, and the Zamorak something or others. What was the other one? I'm sorry. Zamorak Crafters. Okay. Obtain an Iron Arrow from Hill Giants. Super easy. And obtain a giant key, which is what? 1 in 128. Okay, so we need to kill Hill Giants, Warriors, Crafters, and Rangers. And a new land has been uncovered, a new music track. Dude, I literally don't know if I've ever been down here. This is wild. Okay, so this is the bank. This is all kinds of convenient. I can bank, I can restore prayer. Look at these guys. Why can't they... Imagine they could drop the square shield. That would be sick. All right, am I going to get absolutely destroyed, or is it going to be achievable without the use of prayer? Imagine I've got a rune scimitar and we unlock smithing, and all of a sudden I've got like decent gear and we're actually making moves. That's what we're excited for here. Also, I probably should be praying. What am I getting destroyed by the most? Probably magic, right? Uh-oh. All right. Oh, no! All right, new account. How do you make a new account? We got to start again, guys. How do you do it? Where's the new account button? It's hard to kind of explain how little upgrades... Oh, as I was literally just saying, it's hard to explain how good this feels. When you play, I mean, I'm not out there with like the 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 hours that some people have played on their account. I'm obviously much more new to this. I have played about whatever this equates to, like 400 or 500 hours, with nothing but just absolute ass. A steel spear to my name. Look at that, a 32 melee strength bonus. Oh, it's delightful. It's actually delightful. Look at this. Has anyone in the history of this game ever worn this setup of equipment? Ever? Like, really? That's what you've got to love about a One Chunk account, man. That is what you've got to love. Seriously. KC check, that was at 28 KC. So, listen, spooned. Absolutely spooned. This is huge. Someone did tell me that was on the drop table, to be fair. That shouldn't be news to me, but that is massive. Spoons the Willow Bow. Literally. Literally. This is going to be my spoon chunk. I'm calling it. There's no, like, it would make no sense to block the Rune Scimitar because it's a massive upgrade. Oh, baby! We're making such good progress! Iron Kite Shield and Iron Arrow from the Hill Giants. Dude, I'm done. I'm actually done. What is happening? I told you this was my spoon chunk. I am working on a way. I'm literally writing a script on how to sort of make the blocking system very understandable and logical, because right now I appreciate there is some confusion. But we are essentially, long story short, we're maxed out on blocks. I can't earn any more right now. I have 3. I can't get any more. I have to use one if I want to earn another block, right? We're capped out. So we may as well throw one away. But I don't know. What I was saying earlier is I have to kill Hill Giants anyway, because even if we block the Giant Key, I still need to get the Iron Arrow, and I still need to get the Iron Kite Shield. So there's a chance that in like 10 kills, I just get a Giant Key. So there's no point in saying I'm going to block it right now, because I might just get one anyway. We'll see what happens. Anyway, withdraw the bowstring, withdraw a regular log. Thank goodness I have one on me. Withdraw my knife. Short bow. Craft. Oh my goodness gracious. Combat style unlocked, guys. All right, Hill Giants. Listen, did you not get the memo? This is my spoon chunk. I just want to make sure you understand. I want to make sure that you know that this is my spoon chunk. Okay? I know I was in the caves when I said that, so maybe you couldn't hear me from down there, but I'm telling you again now. Thank you. I knew you would listen to me. I knew you would listen to me if I just mentioned it nicely and politely. Thank you very much. That is a chunk task complete. You just have to ask. You just have to be polite. You know, just being a nice guy goes a long way, right? One thing with like subscribing on YouTube, dude. I mean, really. We're flying high, boys. We're flying high. If you unlock the range guild, for example, wouldn't the 99 cape be a task and also having a 99 cape? Yes. Do you mean like the trimmed cape? Is that what you're referring to? Best in slot prayer cape plus ranged cape. Right. Right. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. No, and that's where I need to really go through and write out a script and an actual rule list on the blocking system, because there are a lot of complications like that, where that's a great example where it's the same task, really, but it has 2 tasks assigned to it. So if I use a block on 99 ranged, do I still have to get 99 ranged because there's another task to have the 99 cape? It doesn't really make sense, you know? So we need to look at that. We need to look at that. Having rules for a series and then realizing that maybe the rules that you laid out initially don't actually make sense, and there's a bit more complication than you first realized, and you gotta try and change things on the fly, and that's where I'm at right now. Although we've never had to use the blocking system yet, so it's not like I'm changing something that we've already used. That would suck a little bit. Hey, 71 strength, by the way. That's a great idea, actually. I like that, yeah. Yes, you can. Hey! We're back again with the chunk picker. Can you believe it? Collection log. Obtain a giant P. Obtain a giant P. See, that's because I said I was going to go to the bathroom, and it's on the brain, you know. But now I have to wait. I can't go to the bathroom now. Can I get a countdown in chat? It went so well the last 2 times we did it. I got a 98, a 58, a 57, another 98. I've got a... we're doing it. Roll. Go, 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 go. Okay, it's completely free. For a second, my brain saw that as the castle chunk, and I was like, oh, rip it. Absolute dead. There are no current chunk tasks. Can I get rid of that, please? Shift. All right, that is not rollable, obviously. And everything else remains the same. Nothing has changed. All right, I'll do the countdown this time, since you guys can't be trusted. 3, 2, 1. That's problematic. That's problematic. Well, listen. Let's have a look. Let's not be too down in the dumps yet. We'll be all right. Use all 3 skips. I know. I told you we needed to figure out the blocking system before we rolled this chunk, and here it is. 85 cooking. That's a new one. I assume because there must be like a bear somewhere. I don't know what my best cooking method is. We're gonna have to cross that bridge. If I have to go back and kill like 400,000 more dungeon rats, I'm gonna be pissed, man. Scary number 1, 87 crafting. I was hoping to get chunk 1 first because there's a bank here, which makes this distance to run to the furnace way shorter. That hasn't happened. So we now have to run from this bank all the way up to here and back over and over again. This is why the blocking system's confusing, right? This is why the blocking system's confusing. If we were to block the mithril mace, right, we would still have to get a mithril knife, a mithril square shield, a mithril med helm, a mithril chamber. So that's where the blocking system is now just wildly confusing. Mithril plate body. We have to smith one. It's 68 smithing. Hundreds of hours. Hundreds of hours. Nice things, positives here. I can complete another quest. Zeal Cult can be done. Sheep Herder and Temple of Ikov can be started. Kind of irrelevant. And then the rest of it is mostly irrelevant. It's really what we're looking at here is cooking, smithing, crafting. Man, I've looked at this zoo for so long and I can finally wander around. That's awesome. Love that. Right, where do we want to go first? I want to check out this general store. Man, I'm in an actual place with things and buildings and NPCs, and I can insure my pet that I'm never going to get. Ah, legit, genuine training. That's really cool. That is really cool. I think we had access to rope anyway. No spade still. Still no spade. That's really sad, honestly. We have an actual woman. That sounded really weird. I meant like we don't have access to like men and women in my other chunks. I can now kill... I don't know if women have the same drop table as men, so like herbs maybe is useful. Let's head to the bank. Women unlocked. Man, I'm familiar with this part of the game from Luring and Ardy Night dozens of times. I kind of just want to make a start on something. That's kind of what I want to do. I just don't know where to start. It's all very daunting. Let's do that. Let's get that willow shortbow equipped, and then at least we can feel good about ourselves. Should we try and get like 10,000 bronze arrows? Okay, that'll do. 2,500. That'll do. Look at us training range though, man. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Yes, this is a bit of a death chunk. Is it a death chunk by the terms of one chunk death chunkery? You know, no, it's not thousands of hours, but it's by far the worst chunk that we've ever rolled. By far. Level 10. Halfway there, right? That's how XP works. Hey, there it is. Willow shortbow. Acquired. And wielded. And equipped. Unlocked. Get wrecked, goblin. I guess we can knock off these very easy things here. I can just check with whatever her name is. There you go. Diary task complete. Very nice. No pets as of yet. Hopefully we can change that. Mining pet. Very possible. Very possible. Let's restore prayer at this altar. You already have full prayer points. Let's fix that. Diary task complete. And I think that was it for the diary task, other than smith and mithril plate body. And the only thing left to do are the quests. Cooking, smith, and crafting. And so I ended the stream, climbed into bed, and thought about the blocking system and how it might work in future chunks. But as I did, questions started to consume my brain. Questions that me and my viewers have been worrying about for a while. Is the rate at which we unlock new blocks fair? I mean, I looked through the chunk picker at potential rolls and grinds, and it seems fair. It's hard to say. I mean, we haven't actually used one yet. Once something's blocked, it's blocked forever? That seems fine now, but imagine a world where we have like 30 chunks unlocked and I'll have 11 pieces of content permanently blocked. Is that not overpowered? Aren't we essentially skipping all of the difficulty of one chunk? Is that even going to be fun for me if it's just easyscape? Not only could it be easyscape, but is it not boring? Bad task equals block and move on? Where's the decision making? Where's the jeopardy? What happens when I come across a boss that has multiple tasks associated to it? Corporeal Beast has the Pet, the Arcane Sigil, the Holy Elixir, the Spirit Shield, and the Jar. Would I need 5 blocks for Corporeal Beast? With my current system, we can only hold 3 blocks at a time, so is it even possible? Not to mention, how does the blocking system even interact with skill and grinds? Is construction just blocked forever if I roll into RD Market and block it? At this point, I jumped out of bed and went back to the drawing board. I completely reworked the blocking system into something that tackles all of those questions and concerns. I wrote out the new system in a Google Doc and sat back and smiled. This is it. This is what I was looking for since episode 1. I sent it in the Discord to get some feedback, and some tweaks and adjustments were made together to really streamline the new system. You guys were absolutely amazing at looking ahead to future chunks and grinds and helping me finalize a system that I think satisfies everything that the blocking system needs to be. It's fun, it's interesting, it adds a critical decision-making element, and it leaves me susceptible to brutal grinds. So let's go through this. It might sound complicated, but I promise, at its core, it's so simple. The link to the Google Doc will also be in the description of every video going forward in case you digest information by reading better than listening. I know I do. For the purpose of this explanation, it's probably best you take everything you knew about the old blocking system and the rule set and scrap it. Let's start fresh, and here we go. The account started with 3 block slots. I can fill these slots with objects, NPCs, and items to avoid certain grinds. Once all of the slots are full, I can't block anything else until I unblock something to free up that slot. This is exactly like task blocking in Slayer. For example, if we had Hellhounds, Dragon Implings, and Zuck blocked, and then rolled into a chunk with a brutal grind, we'd have to unblock one of those things to free up a slot and block whatever new grind we were faced with. This reactivates the task that was associated with whatever it is we unblock. If I chose to unblock Hellhounds, the Smoldering Stone task would resurface and we'd have to acquire one. The blocks can be used on any NPC, object, or item in the game. For an object to qualify, it has to be a usable object in the game. This essentially just means any object that can be interacted with and shows a red X when clicked. It also must provide some kind of input or output. All that means is it must either take an item from my inventory or give an item to my inventory, or both. For example, farming patches, anvils, and fishing spots all fit the description and can be blocked, whereas doors and ladders do not. And it has to be specific. I can't just block all trees. It would have to be specifically magic trees, for example. To clarify, if something gets blocked, every NPC, object, or item in the game that shares that property gets blocked. So now we understand what can be blocked, let's discuss when it can be blocked. I can block or unblock things whenever I please. However, if I choose to unblock something, whatever task resurfaces as a result has to be completed before I can roll a new chunk. The task comes back, and the chunk is considered incomplete until it's done. That way, I can't abuse the system. Some tasks will need to be blocked essentially forever. Think of things like the Inferno or Corporeal Beast. These tasks are so insane that it's hard to imagine a world that I would even consider doing them or even be able to do them. A few tasks like that, and the blocking system's dead. My slots will be full of incompletable tasks and will just be back to being a regular old one-chunk account. For that reason, I've introduced a way to unlock 4 more block slots. These will be unlocked by rolling 10, 15, 20, and 25 chunks respectively. That way, as the account progresses and the block slots become filled with death tasks, we'll have the ability to earn more. If you're concerned that the requirements to unlock new block slots is too lenient, don't worry, so was I. Until I looked at the chunk picker. Draconic Visages, Skill Capes, Smoldering Stone, the Inferno, and that's just to name a few. Rolling 25 chunks with the amount of unfriendly neighbors I have around me will genuinely be a challenge. It's also worth noting that some tasks are basically impossible to block. Think about revenants in the wilderness. To my knowledge, there's no single NPC, object, or item that I can block to remove that grind. So death chunks do very much still exist. Each episode, and each time we utilize the system or discuss the system, this is what you'll see. It's simple, it's clean, it shows you what's blocked, what slots are open, and how we unlock the next one. And as a viewer, that's all you'll need to know. Overall, I'm so excited to start using this, and the sooner we fill all of the slots, the sooner we can start to have the discussions about what to unblock and the grinds that might get reactivated along the way. I think at first, some more mild tasks might consume those block slots. I mean, if the slot is empty, you may as well fill it, right? But over time, as we roll more chunks and come across more challenging grinds, those tasks that we initially blocked will become unblocked, and we'll end up doing them anyway. And over time, those block slots are just going to get filled with increasingly more difficult tasks. A One Chunk account's theoretical end goal is to complete everything possible in the game within their rule set. This might suggest that blocking is irrelevant then, since we'll definitely end up rotating out block tasks with new ones and have to do essentially everything anyway. The thing with One Chunk is that the order in which you roll chunks plays the ultimate part in how bad a grind may be. For example, rolling 99 Construction with nothing but Fishing Trawler as a means to gain XP is an absolute account killer. However, rolling into 99 Construction much later into the account when you have a house portal and a saw is a much more manageable grind. The blocking system allows me to postpone doing a task when it's at its most account-ending state and revisit it when the account is more prepared. Think of it more like task storage rather than task removal, which the previous system was. Will it make my One Chunk experience easier? Yes. Will it make my One Chunk experience easy? No. Remember, if we misuse our blocks, we could still roll into death. With all that said, and you now hopefully understand the new system, let me quickly run you over a couple of rule changes to the series that I think will really complement our new system. Initially, we were following the extreme rule set, but we had some exceptions. Shooting stars, implings, raking patches, they were all exempt from the series. Now, it's all included. To maintain the validity of the previous 8 episodes, we're gonna have to use our imaginations. In Chunk 2, we rolled the Monastery, which included the Bush Patch. Let's assume I blocked that by adding the rake to the block slots straight away. In Chunk 3, we rolled Port Khazard, and again, let's assume I blocked Shooting Stars. That way, everything we've done up until now remains valid, and we can continue on with the series with 2 pretty awful grinds already occupying a couple of our block slots. And lastly, my Discord voted that moving forward, chunks can be rolled via transportation. I mentioned previously that I wouldn't allow chunks to be rolled via transportation, such as portals, boats, or teleports, if they could otherwise just be walked to. This meant that Catherby, Port Sarim, and the Deep Wilderness via the Lever in Ardy were not rollable. However, going forward, that changes. This opens up a world of content and possibilities every time we roll a new chunk, and could very quickly put us face to face with some pretty ugly grinds. Again, a huge thank you to my community in the Discord for voting on polls, theory crafting, and adding to the discussion that led us to this point. If you want to get involved in future decision making, the link to the Discord is in the description. It's genuinely a cool place to hang out and meet new people, and quite often I hop into voice channels and play some games with you guys, so come and get involved. Alright, is everyone still awake and not completely confused? Let's get our teeth into this new chunk and see how the blocking system might come in handy right off the bat. Alright, I want to do some theory crafting on these grinds then, because they're all pretty awful. The first thing I want to test out is smithing. I mean, we do have access to these coal rocks out here. I'm gonna pretty quickly rule this out, I think. Mining coal is awful, and yes, you do get more XP from smithing steel items rather than iron items, obviously, but I think the time it's gonna take to acquire all of the coal is not gonna work out, man. Alright, I've had a look, and I genuinely believe that Superheat is gonna be the play here. We have access to a Nature Rune chest in this chunk, so we do have a repeatable method of getting Nature Runes, and I have the Staff of Fire for all the way back in Chunk 1, so Superheat is a real possibility, and I think cutting down on the amount of time that I have to spend running back and forward to the furnace, or should I say walking back and forward to the furnace, is going to be really critical here. Not to mention that smelting iron has a 50% success rate at a furnace. That's easy to forget, and that basically means that I'm going to need twice as many ore and twice as many trips to the furnace to be able to do it, whereas Superheat has a 100% success rate, so overall, it's going to be faster to use Superheat. So what am I doing? Why am I Thieving Paladins. Well, Paladins give you Chaos Runes when you pickpocket them. I don't have the level for Superheat Item yet, so I need runes. Now, Superheat Item is only a level 43 magic. It shouldn't be that difficult to do. And in fact, I don't even need 43 magic to get started. I can do low alchemy at level 21 magic, which again is just nature runes and the Staff of Fire, which is quite easy to do. But even just getting 21 magic is going to be a struggle. There are like no runes in any of my chunks, man. It's so difficult. So step one here is going to be to try out this Paladin and just sort of see how doable this is. Maybe the Chaos Runes are the play. All right, Paladins were pretty terrible. And to be honest, even if I could get a bunch of Chaos Runes, I still need Air Runes to be able to cast any kind of bolt spell. So I'm going to try out the Zamorak Crafters. We had to kill literally one of them in the Urania Altar chunk. So I'm going to try killing these. I know they have a pretty wide selection of runes on their drop table. And of course, they do drop the Essence, which we can then craft into other runes as well. So maybe these are an option. I'll try it out for a minute. All right, the crafters were decent. It was still pretty slow. We do, of course, have the Necromancer. I haven't been here since episode 1, but I am well more equipped to take on the Necromancer now. So let's see how this goes, I guess, for runes. Maybe this is a better option. Necromancer was absolutely terrible. The world hopping, the zombies, it was a whole shenanigan. I'm going to try out just goblins. Goblins have some, again, basic runes, body runes specifically, which will allow us to cast curse spells and things like that. So I'm going to try a little bit of goblin slaughter for a bit. Goblins were, they were okay. It wasn't too bad. But honestly, I think out of all of the things I just tried, the Zamorak Crafters are going to be the play here. We'll also get some rune crafting levels along the way, which is not useful, but cool, I guess. Leveling up a skill that I usually wouldn't be able to level up is nice. I don't know. I'm trying to convince myself that this is fine. But Zamorak Crafters, that's what I'm going for. I'm locking it in. Got an essence drop, so may as well get level 2 rune crafting. I know I said this earlier. One chunk is so... it's so unique, man. Like, level 2 rune crafting to any other account in the game is, like, pointless. But on a one chunk, when you've played the game for 500 plus hours with level 1 rune crafting and suddenly you're able to level it up, oh, it's so exciting, man. If you're ever thinking about trying a one chunk account, just try it, man. Seriously, just try it. I promise you, you're gonna love it. I also realized that instead of standing by the bank and having to run all the way through that maze thing to get to the altar makes no sense when I can just stand here at the altar. The crafters come up here anyway, so like it's way easier. But anyway, that was level 3 rune crafting. Pretty cool. Let's see how far we can take this. Been doing this for a little while now. Level 10 rune crafting, and the rune pile is stacking up very, very nicely. Get back over here. God, if I go too far over there to the west, I will attract aggro from the rangers and the mages, and they do some damage, man. So trying to avoid that if I can. But hey, level 10 rune crafting, things you love to see. Well, that's level 12 rune crafting, but I think more importantly, that's probably enough runes. It's not quite... I was doing calculations based off of curse spells and stuff. It's not quite enough, but I do still have a bunch of chaos runes, and I racked up a good amount of air runes from that. So using whatever bolt spell, I think will definitely get us the level. So let's go and do it, man. It is time for Tower of Blue to go back to his old ways, man. This feels so iconic to me. It's kind of not iconic, but standing there killing ogres for the curved bone, this is it. This is the setup. Man, this is like OG episode 2 Tower of Blue right here. Oh, it feels good. All right, we're about to have a whole host of confused zoo animals right now, because that is my only method. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do because you can't cast Confuse on a monster multiple times. You have to like let their stats restore essentially, and it's not great. Some of these monkeys, you like have talk options and not attack options. I'm gonna just run around the zoo confusing everything and probably confusing anyone that walks by as well, to be honest. But is this not what One Chunk is all about, man? I mean, doing just the most bizarre things to try and get a level. Honestly, man, I know I'm gushing about One Chunk in this video, but I just can't explain to you how much fun I'm having playing this account and making this series. I hope it shows. Oh, it's great. It's so great. All right, we ran out of the body runes as I predicted, so I'm currently casting Wind Bolt, the Scorpion's seemed like the most decent thing to cast it on. They have a lot of HP. And that is it. Level 21 magic. What a bizarre milestone level that is. But I can now cast low alchemy, so we can go and get nature runes and just start low alcheming a bunch of stuff to get us to 43 magic, which is exactly what we need for superheat. Man, I have to pick lock my way into this house. This just feels wrong. Not only am I stealing from Ross and his wife here, I have to literally break into their home to do it. This is wrong in so many ways. Oh, he's got a blue wizard hat as well. Oh, this guy. Oh, Ross, mate, me and you, we can be friends. I love it. Well, this is where I'm going to be for quite a lot of time, I would imagine. If anyone's unfamiliar with the nature rune chest, there is a more commonly used one on the other side by the RD market, but essentially you don't open the chest, you search for traps. So I can change the left click option so that I can just click, and you can only loot this thing. It ends up being about once every 15 seconds is what I calculated. From the time you click once to the time you click the second time, it's about 15 seconds. It's very slow, but it is an infinite supply of nature runes, and that's exactly what I need right now. It doesn't matter how painful it is. Maybe a foot pedal is on the agenda. I was avoiding buying a foot pedal. I wanted to do it with my bare hands, you know, but the fact that I'm just spam clicking one pixel, I think a foot pedal might be the play. If you were curious, to get enough nature runes, to get to 43 magic, and then enough nature runes to superheat all of the iron ore that I need, it's gonna take around about 80 hours of clicking on this chest. I know, kinda wild. Oh, a book of knowledge. I think this is the one that gets us to 16, and that's where we stop gaining Hunter XP. Oh no. That is an absolute disaster. I can now catch baby implings. Oh, that is such a problem. If you're wondering why that's such a problem, long story short, Puro is a thing that exists. Puro is a notorious one-chunk nightmare. Not only do you have to get 89 Hunter to catch a lucky impling, there are multiple tasks that come out of it due to the fact that the implings drop items. Now, my closest Puro chunk is Yanil. It's one roll away. If we roll a Yanil, we just unlocked thousands and thousands of hours worth of grinding. Oh, that's such a stupid mistake. All right, well, I'm at the chunk picker then. Essentially, the chunk picker is very good. It knows what stats you have most of the time, but there are things that you lamp. So Hunter is an example of that. And the chunk picker doesn't know that I've been lamping Hunter. So yeah, so if I set it to 17 Hunter and then I come over here, you'll see the tasks in, oh, well, if I hit calculate tasks, the tasks don't change because I don't have Puro yet. Something changed. What changed? Wait, 95 cooking to make a part summer pie? Oh, no. Wait, no. Wait, what? Wear rune armor? 99 smithing? 87 fletching? What did I just do? I don't understand. Wait, details? Runite bar, catch a magpie impling. Puro. Transportation. This is all of the Puro spots. You got Tavali, Yanil, Drainer Manor, Rimington, Varrock, Farming Guild, Assidious. What else we got? Oh, Brimhaven. Wheat Patch north of the Agility Arena. Wheat Patch north of the Agility Arena? Like over here? Oh my god, no, that isn't in my chunk, no? Oh my god, is that actually in my chunk? Have I actually just killed us? Alright, I'm on my main account. I just want to come over here and just attest. It's straddling the chunk border, but it does, to be fair, look like it's mostly in my chunk. I don't have a good feeling about this, but I'm gonna hop around and just see if you can get into Puro. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. There's the crop circle. Can you enter it without going into the other chunk? Oh my god, you literally can. You literally can. Oh, man. And there it is. I'm in Puro. You know, I don't mind the fact that Puro is a thing we have to do. Obviously, I wouldn't have made it a rule if I was upset by that, but the fact that I've unlocked that for myself by mistake, that's heartbreak, man. That is heartbreak. Oh, hold up. When you leave Puro, you're not in your chunk. That's weird. I need to test that. Okay, I did test it. Sort of panic over for now kind of thing. I did test it. Every single time you leave that Puro portal, it does put you outside of your chunk. And just based on the sort of normal rules of one chunk, that does mean that I can't access Puro. Yes, I can go in, but I can't then get back out. And that sort of defeats the two-way transportation rule. That is a slight bit of relief. Still definitely an absolute mistake and a half to have unlocked 1700 for myself, because I'm literally now one chunk roll away in two different places. If I unlock the Brimhaven town, Puro's a thing. If I unlock Yanille, Puro's a thing. So getting to 1700 is such a mistake. That is one chunk 101 right there, guys. And I flubbed it. I flubbed it big time. We are gonna have to cross that bridge when we come to it, but at least we don't have that bridge right now. Anyway, there's 1,000 nature runes. That kind of makes me feel a little better, right? Not really, because I need many more. All right, well, I'm going to take a break from it there because there's 1,400 and whatever. That is enough now to get us up to level 43 magic. So I should go and get level 43 magic, and then I can come back and get all of the nature runes. All right, in terms of alchables in the bank, I think the most logical option really is all of the longbows and the unstrung shortbows and stuff that we crafted earlier. There's not really anything else that I would want to get rid of, and this is just a stackable, notable item that, to be honest, we were probably going to sell anyway, so I think it's nice that we can actually utilize these now. Maybe we'll make some GP along the way. That could be pretty cool. All right, there it is. It's done. 43 magic. Superheat is nice and lit up in the spellbook there. Beautiful. You can now use Superheat item, which is the entire reason I did all of that. What a journey just to unlock Superheat item, man. Killing the crafters, crafting runes, getting 12 rune crafting, gathering nature runes, getting the Staff of Fire from the Necromancer just to unlock this spell. It's so unique. It's great. Well, I've already been doing a lot of nature rune chesting, and it wasn't that fun, so I'm going to take a break for some mining, which could arguably be even less fun, but that's okay. Honestly, I don't mind mining. It's one of my least favorite skills on my main account, but for a chunk account, I don't know. There's something about it. It's like, it's different. It's different. And not only is it different, but I'm not just mining for a level, which I think is different in itself. I'm mining because I need the ores, and that in itself just has like a different feel to it, you know? It's like, I'm being productive here. I like it. So let's crack on. I need about 16,000 iron ore is what I calculated. So we have about 5,000 in the bank from when we had to do the mining grind here in Port Khazad in the first place. So about 12,000 more to go, something like that. I'm back in the nature rune chest again. This is honestly working out really well, because if there's something that I need to be doing on the computer, like editing or just playing a game with the boys, whatever it is, I can do the nature rune chest and just foot pedal away on the laptop. It's super nice. But at the same time, if I want to pay a bit more attention and I want to actually engage in the game, then I can go over and do the mining. It's super nice. I'm loving this right now. But anyway, here we go. And there is a level as well. I kind of neglect the fact that I'm actually getting Thieving XP from this. It's pretty insignificant XP if we're being real, but it exists. It's kind of cool. Man, you guys are going to be getting whiplash from the amount of back and forward here. I apologize. I'm back at mining again. I wanted to just get a lot of this done. I need about 16,000 in total. It's going to take a little while, but honestly not too long, and I'm actually going to try some tick manipulation. I've never done this on any account in any way ever before. I've always looked at tick manipulation and thought, that looks absolutely brain rot, but I'm going to give it a go. I've got some teak and mahogany logs in the bank, and I believe if I just fletch the log and then start mining, it should almost insta-mine the iron ore, even with the bronze pickaxe, so that's going to speed things up dramatically. Let's give it a go. I'm definitely going to mess this up because I've never done it before, but I think it's worth trying. All right, now while I mine away and try and figure this out, let me have a little discussion with you. Now, we've gone through the blocking system. You've heard all of that. So let's think about how we're actually going to use it then. Now, with the old system, I wouldn't have blocked anything in this chunk. It wouldn't be worth it. I mean, the grinds are quite long. 250 to 300 hours for crafting, 200 to 250 hours for cooking. Using a very valuable block on those would not be worth it. However, with the new system and the block slot system and that block-unblock mechanic, it almost feels counterintuitive to just leave the slots open. We're going to roll a chunk that is absolutely dastardly. I mean, look at the surrounding chunks. There's pain all around. So it's not just possible, but likely that the next time I roll a chunk, we are going to have to unblock something that's in the block slots. And I get to then decide, is that crafting? Is it cooking? Or is it level 90 mining to mine a tier 9 shooting star? I'm not going to unblock farming because honestly, farming is probably going to be one of those tasks that is blocked until I unlock a farming patch that I can utilize at a much, much lower level. I guess all I'm trying to say is the block slot is there. It's available to be used, so use it. And let's not forget, we may get lucky with the chunk roll and get a chunk that makes cooking or crafting significantly easier. For example, if I roll the chunk just north of East Ardee, the chunk we're working on now, the chunk just north of that has a bank. That bank is significantly closer to the furnace than the bank that we're using right now in Port Khazard. That would make the crafting grind way easier. And that's what the blocking system's all about. Putting a task on hold and hoping that with future chunk rolls, they become a little bit more tolerable. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to block crafting and cooking, and that means that just finishing this smithing grind and finishing the other little miscellaneous tasks that take no time at all, and I'm going to be able to roll a new chunk. And I can actually tell you right now, based on calculation, that the chunk roll is going to be happening on Sunday, the 20th of July. Come along, it's going to be at 3 p.m. CST on YouTube and on Twitch. The links are in the description. Please come along, it'll be great. I want you to remember as well, the purpose of the blocking system was never to make this easyscape. It was to make it so that we'd be progressing through chunks at a faster rate. And I think that's exactly what I should be doing right now. So right now, we have the rake blocked. We have shooting stars blocked. That leaves us with one more block slot. But actually, it doesn't, because what I didn't realize is we have actually rolled 10 chunks up to this point. So the fourth block slot is now unlocked. So I'm going to block the pie dish, which removes that task for cooking. And I'm going to block the glass blowing pipe. Now what that does is it brings the crafting grind down from 87 crafting down to 19. The reason it doesn't get rid of the crafting grind entirely is because I have access to the pottery wheel and I have access to clay, which means the highest level crafting skill that I can now do without the glass blowing pipe is to make a plant pot at that spinning wheel. So that is still a task, but of course level 19 is going to be drastically faster than level 87. So TLDR, long story short, finish the smithing grind, finish those other little tasks, and we will be rolling a new chunk. Again, I want to emphasize, this might seem weird right now, but don't think of this as easyscape. That is not what's going to be the case. Again, imagine I roll a new chunk and we roll into Ardee Market. Well, there you go, 99 construction, that's immediately getting blocked. So we'll be unblocking something to block 99 construction. Cool, we complete Ardee Market. We roll again, Witch Haven. The Smoldering Stone from Hellhounds, that's an instant block. Again, we're gonna have to unblock something else. Crafting, cooking, or mining, whatever we have left. Let's say we complete that chunk. All right, we roll a new one. And we get Yanil with 99 magic and barely any access to runes in this chunk. It would be hundreds, if not thousands of hours at that nature rune chest. That's almost an instant block. So now all of a sudden, you look at the block slots in this hypothetical scenario, and we have an insane patch raking farming grind, an insane 99 construction at the fishing trawler grind, and an insane smoldering stone from the Hellhounds grind, as well as an insane 99 magic grind with barely any runes available. And that's when we're going to be looking at the block slots with absolute despair and realizing that this is not easyscape. I hope that all makes sense, and of course, I welcome your feedback as well. But right now, all I can do is focus on this smithing grind. Let's progress. We're almost there, man. We're getting there. The progress is real. foot pedal in the nature runes, and we get a genie. Now, of course, I'm not putting this in Hunter, am I? I've had a little look at the other options. Most of them make no sense. Like, a lot of them I can just train myself fairly easily, so it's not too bad. A lot of them are also just like quest locked or construction. I need a player-owned house. The only options I think make any kind of sense are Prayer, but I don't know. Slayer, which I guess Slayer could make sense, but I'm so far away from Slayer being of any use. I don't know. Agility, though. Agility is another dangerous one where I could unlock some pretty gnarly grinds for myself accidentally. But I think just having at least a few agility levels is going to help with the run restoration and stuff like that. I can't see any other decent options. I'm going for that. I'm going to commit to agility for a little while. Ooh, I just did a maze random, which I didn't think about recording. I didn't think it would be that useful, but we got feathers out of it. Now, feathers are obviously not a very valuable item, but for me, they really could be. I've been debating what I was actually going to smith with all of the iron bars, and arrowheads is a really good potential option. That might be the play. And getting some feathers to be able to actually utilize that is really nice, actually. Missed the level, but there is level 60 mining. Not a very useful level, to be honest, but it's a level, and it's a milestone, and it's kind of cool. So there you go, there's a clip. I think I've got this tick manipulation stuff down, by the way. Earlier, I was doing it with just the 2 rocks, and it didn't make a lot of sense because I had to wait for the ore to regenerate anyway, but utilizing all 3 rocks, it's way more click intensive, but honestly, there's something quite satisfying about doing it. Maybe the 20 years of playing this game, I've been neglecting tick manipulation. This is honestly kind of enjoyable. Oh my god, sandwich lady with a baguette, it's a reality. This, surely, come on, please. It would be so cool. It would just be so cool. Please do it for me. Do it. Oh, okay, fine. No, that was my last teak log and I accidentally fletched it into a stock. I've done that multiple times up to this point. Oh, that's so frustrating. If I just like lapse in concentration for even a second, I will accidentally fletch this into a stock. Damn it. 15,000 ore, just over 1,000 to go. Absolutely beautiful. Let's do it, man. Let's finish this. Oh, account check, my favorite event. It's so easy. 10 agility XP, and that does get us level 2 agility. Again, absolutely unreal. Another skill that was locked at level 1 is no longer. This is it. The last inventory, the last ore. We are done. It was that easy. I'm going to fill up the inventory anyway, because why not? Why would I not do that? Well, the mining's done, and I'm almost a little bit sad about that, actually. It was, I really enjoyed it. Now, I'm going to mine the mithril ore that I need. If I've added it up correctly, I think I need 25 mithril ore to make all of the mithril things that the tasks were for. So I'm going to mine the mithril ore. It's going to be quite slow. I'll probably just world top, actually. That might be a faster method. And that's it. All the mithril ore. We have it all. Mining is officially done. Back to the nature rune chest then. It's really not a problem. The length of time that this takes is huge, but the amount of input that I actually have, I mean, it's nothing. I just click the foot pedal while playing other games and doing other things. I had a bunch of clips of various nature rune amount milestones, but realistically, what's the point? This video's already probably enormous. I'm not worried about it. But there it is. That is the last nature rune, if I've calculated correctly, which hopefully I have. And we're done. 16,051 nature runes. It's over. It took a long time, but man, I've got calves of steel now from all of that clicking. Alright then, before I start doing all of the superheating stuff that is required, we already have all the ores, we already have all of the nature runes. The rest of this is not going to take that long, but I do want to get that crafting grind out the way. Let's knock that out the way. 19 crafting to make a plant pot. Shouldn't take too long. Alright, this is the method then. It's very simple. We take half an inventory of buckets, we mine the other half an inventory of clay. We run over to this sink over here and we fill the buckets. We run back to the bank, we wet or moisten all of the clay. Sorry to use that word. We then take a full inventory of the wet clay all the way up to the spinning wheel. where we can make whatever it is we want to make. At this point, it's going to be pots. Bear in mind, I can't make pie dishes because they are blocked. I literally will not have access to those. And in the blink of an eye, there is 19 crafting. As I say, literally took no time at all. That really wasn't bad. So we can now just make that plant pot, and that is the chunk task. I may as well fire all of this stuff while I'm here, get us probably to level 20. But now it really is just full focus on smithing, man. Superheat, let's do it. All right, superheat it is. I'm kind of sad to learn that you have to spam click like you do with like high alchemy, that kind of thing. In my mind, you would click on one of the ores and it would just slowly work through the rest of the inventory, just kind of like a furnace, but that isn't the case. It's not too bad though. I've rearranged the spell book so that I can just kind of click in one spot. I would use the foot pedal for this, but I have to bank so frequently, it ends up just being more hassle, but I think this will be about 10 hours of superheating with good efficiency, and the levels are flying in, man. Magic and smithing levels, it's very satisfying. It's almost not satisfying because I'm watching this stack of nature runes that I spent like 80 hours trying to get just melt away, literally, I guess. It is what it is, though. That was the whole point. Let's get it done. I'm not going to show you every level up. I think you understand. You know what level that I need to get to. You know what I'm trying to do here. You'll get the point. Well, I said I wasn't going to show every level, and I haven't, but I am going to show you this one. 55 magic. It's a big level. That is high alchemy unlocked, which is a huge upgrade for the account, but B, it's also a task. I do need to cast high alchemy. I don't think I got enough nature runes to cast high alchemy. I'm going to have to go back and get one singular nature rune. I'll probably forget that and realize in the chunk roll and stream on Sunday. We'll see. And just like that, the nature runes that I worked so hard for are gone. It's over. Absolutely insane. It was not that bad, but look at the levels. I mean, I didn't calculate what magic level I was going to get from this. I would have guessed around 60, 65, but 72 magic. That is now my highest combat stat on a skill that I've never actually used for combat. That's basically all from utility spells. Kind of wild, and honestly could be useful in the future. Now, what am I going to smith? It's a big debate that I've been having in my mind this entire time. I mean, almost everything is useless. The options really are plate bodies, which will just make this whole experience significantly faster because I'm doing essentially a fifth of the work. Nails, I mean, they could be useful for future construction, but I think if we roll into in a chunk where we need to get 99 construction, nails are going to be like the least of our concern. Dart tips would be cool, but you can't do them. They are quest locked. Really, the options are arrow tips, knives, and bolts. Arrow tips and bolts for the banked fletching XP, which will be very useful. Knives for the instant ranged XP, but we already have a short bow and unlimited bronze arrows from that store in Ardy, so that's way less useful as well. Arrow tips, let's do it. All right, we are well underway with the smithing. It won't take that long, 15 hours, something like that. But 15 hours away from rolling a new chunk, essentially. Now that we have committed to blocking, crafting, and cooking, everything else is basically done. All I have to do is complete Haziel quest, start sheep herder and one other quest I forget, and I think that's it. Which means we will be rolling a new chunk very, very soon. In fact, Sunday, the 20th of July at 3 p.m. CST. That is when I'm going to be rolling a new chunk. We're going to be doing it live here on YouTube and Twitch as we did the last one, which you saw in this video. Hopefully you were able to see from the VOD footage, which again, I didn't want it to be VOD footage. I'm going to try and avoid that from the next episode, but hopefully it was apparent that it was so hype. It was such a fun stream. I genuinely, one of the highlights of my content creation journey so far. It was actually amazing. And I would love for you to be there again, to see it live again on Sunday, the 20th of July, 3 p.m. CST. We'll be starting the stream by completing Haziel Cult, giving people time to come in, and then we'll be rolling a new chunk. What will it be? There is death and doom all around us. There are huge upgrades all around us. And of course, 99 agility is right there as well. Just saying. I'll be here for it. I hope you guys are too, but that is where I'm going to leave this one. This was a monster of a video. I apologize. That won't be the case in future videos. Maybe. I imagine that'll be in a clip of a very long video somewhere down the line of me saying that. I like to strike for the 30 to 45 minute mark. I appreciate this one went way over that. That was not by design. I'm sorry. I hope you enjoyed nonetheless, and I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.